Good evening guys, and this is Luke from Tiny Table Wargames, and we have another unboxing for you today. I know my last video was a while ago, around about 2 weeks. Just general things at home, causing sort of like a few issues here and there, logistics and stuff like that. So today I am unboxing I would like to say remainder of my Elven army. I know for a fact it's not going to be the remainder of my Elven army. I've already kind of semi-unboxed it previously to sort of take out a couple of miniatures, and pardon for knocking the tripod there. So it's what I've basically got here is these are from alternative armies. Got an empty packy, a couple of horses, a chariot, some bladesmen, more bladesmen. So 3 packs of bladesmen, 2 chariots, some archers, some spearmen, more archers, more archers. So yeah, plenty of archers. You know, as always, elves, spearmen, more spearmen, and my leadership pack. Oh no, these are for my bolt throwers. So cool. Right, so it comes in your standard just white box with a little leaflet in it from alternative armies, which would be like so. I do apologise for the sort of the early nature of the unboxing of when I did it. Initially, it was mainly a case of I just wanted to see what I'd got, you know, kid with a gift and all that lot, which I thought was fantastic. As you can see in the background, there's the start of my Elven army. In general, I've got a couple of the spearmen down there that I've already previously owned. So yeah, let's have a quick look and see what we've got. Instead of getting the spearmen out there, I might as well grab one in front. So yeah, I mean, you've got the little details. I mean, you can see all the chain, you can see the helmet, you can see the face. And he's got a nice pointy spear or halberd, depending on sort of where you are in the world, I suppose. Not too sure. I'd say they're spears. Designed to, well, I'd say they're more pikes than spears. Designed to sort of put in the ground and cripple the oncoming cavalry. We've also got that pose as well. Oh, where's he gone? Right. So we've got that pose. It's like he's sort of reaching over the guys in front. So I think that one's quite... I think this one is possibly my favourite pose. Just because it's a little bit different, and I mean you could stack them so it's like that. So you've got 2 like poking forward, and then the top guy's coming up, and he's just giving you a good poke on your way in, I suppose. You've got your standard stand up. So in these bags you get, I think it's 16 figures per bag. So you've got the other guy as well. He's sort of preparing his pike to lay it into the oncoming charge. Now, I have run into a little bit of an issue. Now, I've worked out, because one of the guys local to me, he bases it at 60% of 28mm. So I've kind of worked out all my bases and things like that. So I would class chariots as large cavalry. Now, a large cavalry is 60 deep. Now, I'm not too sure, in fact, this could be better. So you've got the length of cavalry, plus the wheel, and then plus the length of the horse. So you'd be looking at 70mm, which puts them at a little bit too long. I'm going to have a play around and see if I can squeeze them onto a 60mm deep base. But yeah, the detailing on these is quite good. It's really nice, crisp, as we've come to expect from alternative armies. I mean, Gavin's fantastic at what he does. Great customer service, great to deal with overall. I think there is what looks to be like a small discrepancy there, but it's on the inside of the chariot, and I don't really think you're going to notice it at all once it's painted up in whatever colours you fancy. I'm going to be going for a royal, like a nice light blue for my elves. There's your little charioteer, which I think is quite cool. As you can tell, the sound quality has improved. I'm using my purple Panda mic, which finally turned up in the post. I also have a nice new light. So yeah, bolt throwers. Where is it? Here's one I made earlier. This one I got when I got my initial order from Alternative Armies, and I've just realised I've based my Chimera, which yet again I got when I ordered the 24 army point army. I'm not too sure if I unboxed that or not. I think I did. Yeah, I did, because that was that's my most viewed video. So yeah, you've got that. Comes in 4 separate parts. Comes with your crossbow, well, your bolt thrower. Comes with your stand, and then your 2 wheels separately. Also includes 2 little figures. Obviously I've got 2 more of them. They are based individually, so it's 12mm by 12mm. Obviously running 60%. Hopefully I'd like to get some actual, possibly get it to the point where it is a recognised basing system. I know there are quite a lot of people out there that are struggling with, you know, especially if at this scale they've got a lot of the 40mm frontages. So yeah, you've got your archers. That little section there, where you can see that bit there, is from the obviously casting. You just clip that off. You know, I've got a little bit of mould lines. It's easy enough to deal with. So that's one pose. Got a nice little cape on the back. You've got one with like a half cape, sword on the front, and like a shawl, all helmeted. You've got this guy who's got hair. He's just wearing his general, to be fair, I honestly don't know what you would call tops like that, to be fair. So yeah, it's quite cool. You've got this one. This one's a slightly different robe, I believe. No, this one's the same. There he is. Now, this one I like. It kind of gives me the impression of a well-known Games Workshop character, obviously, who's no longer sort of part of the lore, which kind of sucks when reading the Sundering book, which kind of got me into tabletop wargaming initially anyway. The Anar, Alith Anar, the Shadow King. Yes, probably one of my all-time favourite fantasy characters. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, you know, with his big robe and kind of like his shadowy presence, so to speak. So my archers, I may actually doing like a darker colour. I was almost tempted to go for dark elf colours, you know, purples, reds, darker colours. But I just thought I'd do something different. I mean, you know, I've done the whole dark elf thing with my 10mm guys, which are now all finally painted up. Obviously, yeah, the unboxing of these. So you've done seen the chariots, seen the archers. Ah, right, so these came as part of the leader pack. There's 6 of these. These are 6 individuals with crossbows. Single-handed crossbows. These are cool sculpts. I mean, the sculpts are really nice, like, as always. However, I'm not a big crossbow person, so these probably won't get used in my army, like in general. We do have, this guy was issued, so you've got 2. So I'm just using my cavalry from previous. So you've got 2. So he's a leader, which I think his sculpting is immaculate. His staff is amazing. It looks to be some form of hawk head, possibly like a vulture, something on those lines, maybe a bat. Don't know, it's kind of hard to tell with the type of wings, especially at this scale. And then you have these, which I think are really cool. I'm not too sure what you would call them, but there's just something about them that sort of screams like high fantasy. And I think they look really cool and quite imposing for such a small figure. Obviously, this is a figure that you would mount on a 12 by 12 base if I physically can. Yep, with just a slight bit of overhang. You know, talking about a millimetre of overhang there. So they do stand quite tall as well. And then we have, where is she? There is one knocking around somewhere. She belongs on one. There we go. This looks to be some form of queen. Possibly a warrior. So she sort of doesn't straddle the horse like normal. She kind of sits on her side and like leans over it, ready to rally her troops into battle and start slicing and dicing things away like the elves do. So yeah, I mean, so far that's my unboxing of what I received. A lot of it's multiple figures. Obviously I've showed you the ones that I haven't really showed you before. You've seen the blades ones in my other unboxing, and this one I thought I'd save for last. Now this is the one I got when I bought the 24 army point one. So I've made them, I've based them using my own type of sterling mud that I got from Luke's APS page. He kind of did that, and you know what I mean. But yeah, the details are absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to start getting these painted up. I've just finished my Dark Elf army. Obviously this video is going to run on a little bit longer than usual. Normally I only go for 10 minutes. Probably go for 10-15 minutes this time, because there's a couple of other updates I've got going as well. Also, this guy for the Undead Army for 15mm. This guy's going to be fun because see the bolt thrower? That is how big the base is at 15mm. Yeah. 30mm by 30mm, which is 60% of 50mm. As you can see, the size difference is unbelievable. So the only thing I can really do is kind of chop off possibly the part of the front or the back, and then kind of like glue it in a way that I might possibly have to do a little bit of both, and then obviously super glue it and hope for the best. Putty it, fill it, hopefully that works. But yeah, that's your war machine size for 15mm, and that's the Undead War Machine. So yeah, that should be fun. So I've got to try and work that one out. I did want to do an unboxing for an army I did buy at the same time when I ordered this box. However, I was quite disappointed in how they sent it. Pendraken sent it to me in just plastic bags instead of their usual army packaging where you get like, and I know I'm not using warband rules, and like they didn't send me any bases, which was cool because I'm snowed under by warband bases. So yeah, I ordered some goblins. So I know I didn't do the unboxing for these, but they just came in baggies. So it came straight out of an envelope, and I didn't really think. I kind of got into 10-year-old mode at Christmas. 10-year-old at Christmas mode. So yeah, that kind of scuppered the idea. So what I've tended to do with my war machines with my Pendraken ones is, let's see if I can find my undead one. There we go. Right, so they use the same base. They do use a slightly bigger base than the 30mm by 30mm, but that's because I also base the figures onto it as well. You know, as you can see with this one, I know you can't really get a good view, but as you can see with this one here, you know, you've got your two separate individuals to go with it. However, with the Pendraken ones, due to the size of the models, I've just kind of based them sort of accordingly. Sorry, it zoomed you a bit too far in there. Yeah, so it based them accordingly, and they seem to work a little bit better, I think. They seem to look a little bit better too. My 10mm ones I will probably mostly be playing at home. More than likely getting my son into the Kings of War rules. But yeah, there's quite a few. So you've got your Goblin Spearmen. But I mean, they rank up, so that's comes under a Horde base. However, does it? That feels a little bit bigger than usual, to be honest. Don't tell me I've got to redo all these. Oh dear. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I've done these bases slightly too big. This should be fun, because it means I've got to chip all that off, and then I've got to stick them in the freezer and unscrape them. So that is 2 regiments of crossbowmen. So 2 regiments of crossbowmen should make up 1 horde. However, you can't have hordes because they're elves. As you can see, I've got a nice 10mm gap there. So I think on that revelation, guys, I might just be able to scrape around it if I scrape off sort of 5mm at the front and sort of 5mm at the back, on all 4 bases, ironically. I think I was talking to I think my son was I think he was talking to me about a car he'd seen out the window or something like that a few days ago. That might have been what did it. If not, it's my own bloody fault. More than likely my own fault, because I mainly hobby on a night. So, but yeah, so on that revelation, we will call it a night. And I kind of hope you enjoy this rambling. The sound quality should be a little bit better. I've got some trees waiting to be built up. So I've got some armatures and some clump foliage for that. I've obviously got some my nice basing material. Lovely stuff. As my son says, it's poo in a jar. However, it smells like filler. And a nice bag of basins, stones for my wargame table. So, on the revelation of the fact that I've completely foobarred with my goblins, I will bid you adieu. Keep it tiny, keep it on the tabletop, and peace out.